Hi guys, this is President Lynx, and this is why Dragon Ball Z is the best. Dragon Ball, let's start from the beginning. Dragon Ball has the best characters, the best character developments. The original with Goku, Goku is like a really small kid in the beginning, and he doesn't know much about life. And his grandpa only taught him a few things. He has a tail. No one else has a tail. He hasn't even seen anybody else except for his grandfather. He's never seen a woman. He's never seen a man. Well, including of course he's seen a man, his grandfather and himself. But he's just a small kid. He's not developed right, and he got dropped when he was a baby because his grandfather dropped him, but he was a really mean kid the original canon had Goku as a mean kid before he got dropped on his head. And then when he got dropped on his head, he was a very caring grandson. He loved his grandfather a lot, but he ended up killing him, which we all know that was very terrible, but he didn't know. So the very first episode we actually see Goku is actually when he catches fish with his tail, and he's on a log, like he's rolling down the hill on a log, and he meets up with this woman. Well, later, a little bit later, she drives in a car, and she's looking for the Dragon Ball, which Goku has the 4-star Dragon Ball, and she asks him for the Dragon Ball, and he goes, "No, you can't have it because it's my grandfather," because he believes that's the reincarnation of his grandfather. That's the last thing he gave to him before he died. Um, but Bulma says, "No, that's a Dragon Ball. That's what I need." And but before all that stuff happened, she comes to him in the vehicle, and he doesn't know exactly what a vehicle is because he's never seen one. So he thinks it's some kind of monster. He goes, "What is that?" And he starts attacking it with his power pole. And she goes, "No, no, it's okay, it's okay." And then she feels aggressed. She feels like he's trying to hurt her, or attack her, and she ends up shooting at him. And of course, it doesn't affect him because he's superhuman. Well, at the time, they didn't know if he was going to be uh, a Saiyan because that wasn't the concept yet. He was just a kid with a tail that has superhuman strength. That's basically what he was. But she ended up like shooting him, and he was fine, of course. And then later on, she tells him, "Look, I'm just trying to find a Dragon Ball," and she explains to him what Dragon Ball is, and he still thinks it's his grandfather. But then she's like, "Well, I'm trying to wish for a boyfriend," which is stupid to wish for. But so they end up going on this journey, and in the very first episode, they end up going away. But he's never left where his grandfather was since he was like a little baby, obviously, because he came to the planet from Planet Vegeta. That's the very beginning. Planet Vegeta is where his dad and his mom, well, new canon, he has a mom. I can't remember her name. See, I only know a lot about the Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball GT. Some are Super. I have watched all the Super too, but I'm not really. I'm kind of hazy on Super. But this video can actually be in parts. As in, like, I can actually talk a little bit about Dragon Ball, a little bit about Dragon Ball Z, and a little bit about Dragon Ball GT. And some Super. I love the actors that play the American versions. I love Sean Schemmel as Goku. I think he plays a really good Goku. I know that when I was a kid, when I was little, I know that Goku wasn't voiced by Sean Schemmel. I know he was voiced by another guy. Right now, I don't know. I think maybe it was Eric Vale. I can't remember. I know the very first arc that I have watched, or the very first episode, or the very first Dragon Ball thing, period, that I've seen, was the part where he fights Frieza, Goku. That was the very first episode I think I've seen of Dragon Ball ever. Dragon Ball Z, at least. But let's go back to Dragon Ball. So the very first episode, they end up going off, and then they end up going on like a little bit of a journey to go find more Dragon Balls to wish for Bulma. But he doesn't know at the time. He thinks that they're still gonna have his Dragon Ball, Fourth Star Dragon Ball, because he really loves that thing. He doesn't really know it. So they end up going on a journey, and they meet the turtle, which is Master Roshi's turtle. It's called Turtle, I think. I think that's his name. I think it's just Turtle. So yeah, he's like, I need to get back to the sea. I haven't been to the sea for a long time. So Goku and Bulma have to go to the sea to bring him back to the sea. So they go travel back to the ocean and go put him back in the water. Well, before he goes to the water, he says, "Oh, I have a surprise for you. I want you guys to wait here." And Bulma and Goku are like, "Okay," you know. They didn't think anything of it. You're like, "Okay." So he ends up coming back like a while later. I wouldn't. It's like almost nighttime, and maybe it was like dusk. It was like getting close to nighttime, and Master Roshi's riding on his back, the turtle shell, and he has a Dragon Ball on his around his neck. So Bulma sees it, and Bulma says, "Can I please have it?" But the night before, Goku, I think he says he was laying on Bulma because he didn't know and she didn't know, so he was laying on her, and he's like, "Bulma, where's your Dragon Balls?" And she's like, "What? Oh no, not Dragon Balls. Where's your balls?" And she goes, "What?" And she goes running downstairs, and she she she's like, "Oh, they're all here. Oh, thank goodness." And but she doesn't know that he didn't mean that. He meant like she has a woman part. She doesn't have balls like a guy. So and so she didn't know that he took off her underwear. So they end up going to Master Roshi, like I said. So Turtle brings him to, and he has a Dragon Ball, and she's like, "Can I please have that ball?" And he's like, "Well, I need something from you," which doesn't make any sense because they actually helped him. Actually, no, he does end up giving him the Flying Nimbus. That's right. He ends up giving Goku the Flying Nimbus because he can actually ride it because he's pure of heart. Uh, and Bulma tries to ride it and she can't. So she's like, "Can I have that around your neck?" He's like to Turtle. He's like, "What does she do for you?" And he goes, "Nothing." She complained the whole time basically. And he goes, "Okay, what can you do for me?" And she goes, "How about this?" And then she lifts up her shirt, and you get to see like more than well, he gets to see more than what he wanted. Well, of course he wanted that because he's a big perv, but I thought that was hilarious. I I think later on she finds out that she didn't have underwear, so she felt embarrassed. So she was only like I think 16 years old maybe when she did that, and of course Master Roshi is over 100. Uh, so that's perverted. So I will be glossing over a lot of filler, not filler, but a lot of episodes because I'm not gonna explain every single episode of the series. But I'm actually thinking about doing parts of this. I'm hoping you guys like this. This is a new thing for my channel. This is gonna be a little bit a little bit of more work than usual. Talking about Dragon Ball. I love Dragon Ball with a passion, and I'm sure you guys do. If you're not, then it's fine. So, Emperor Pilaf's minions, they keep on like trying to attack them, I should say, in the beginning. And every time they fail. Well, I guess that's filler, and I did not know that until kind of recently. But when I watched it, Emperor Pilaf's minions, which is Mayan Shu, always tried to like uh, capture the Dragon Balls from steal the Dragon Balls from Goku and Bulma, but they always failed. But it ended up meeting people around, well, not people, but things along the way, like Oolong, which is the pig that shapeshifts. Probably it wasn't, I think that is its true form, actually, yes. And Oolong, the very first episode that you actually meet him, he's like Mr. Roshi, basically. He likes women. And almost every single character that you meet in Dragon Ball likes women. Except for Goku, because Goku is like dents in the head, so he doesn't know. And well, I forgot to say this, but the very first episode when Bulma ends up like being with, well, not being with Goku, but like talking to him, she's like, I'll show you this," and she goes like lifts up here so she can get the Dragon Ball, and he's like, "I don't need that." He's like, what are you doing?" But and then Goku tries to lift up her skirt to see if she has a tail. That's right. I forgot to say those parts in the first episode. But so later on, like I said with Oolong, Oolong ends up shape shifting into like a handsome guy to keep capturing women, which doesn't make any sense because he has a whole crap ton in his house, and he looks like he's irritated. I'm like, why bother keep getting women if you keep on getting if you're getting irritated? It doesn't make any sense. But Goku ends up dressing up like a woman, which is funny because they do the same thing in Dragon Ball GT later on with not Goku, but with Trunks, future Trunks. But not future Trunks, regular Trunks, yesterday. To leave, and so he ends up, and then he ends up turning into a fish, and then Bulma ends up putting money on the hook because she knows he's stingy, and I don't think it was money, and I think it was panties or something. I don't know. I think it was money. I can't remember. She ends up putting something on the hook, and then catches him, and because he like really wants it. So Oolong's a big pervert, for one. I know that. And then later on, they actually say I'm glossing over a lot of things because it's kind of fuzzy a little bit, Dragon Ball on me, because I haven't seen it in a while. But I'm not gonna gloss over like the important parts, if that makes sense. I'm just gonna cover the first arc of Dragon Ball, and if you guys want a second part, I will be putting a second part out. But I gotta refresh myself on the second part because I know a lot about the first part of Dragon Ball more than I do the second part of Dragon Ball. And I know more about the ending of Dragon Ball, obviously, because I actually own a little bit of DVDs. Later on, they end up meeting Puar and Yamcha. Now Puar knows Oolong because they used to go to a class together. What the heck is that? And Puar can also shapeshift, and she's like a cat, which is funny because I actually named my cat Puar because that's how much I love Dragon Ball. I named my cat Puar. Even though my wife calls her Anika, I call her Puar. And she loves Dragon Ball too. I got my wife into Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball Z, I should say, because she doesn't really care for Dragon Ball. She doesn't like the beginning. And I like Dragon Ball because it's more lighthearted, and the characters are more fleshed out. And Yamcha is not that bad of a guy. He's actually built up to be a good character in Dragon Ball. Like, there's no Vegeta. There's no Piccolo in the beginning. There's no antagonist, really big antagonist, at least not now, until later on, of course. So, in the beginning, it's like really lighthearted. But Yamcha is the first bad guy in Dragon Ball. He's actually the antagonist of trying to steal stuff from them, but he is also scared of women, which he's really scared of Bulma. And he's like, ah! And he always runs off. So, there's one part, so they're like sleeping at night in this camper. And Yamcha comes and and he's like, all right, I'm gonna steal their stuff. And I think he actually heard about the Dragon Balls, maybe. I can't remember. So he's like, I'm gonna steal their stuff, and he ends up looking through, or no, he ends up going through. He's like, oh, cool, and he pulls back the curtain, where Bulma's sleeping, like the blanket, and he sees her completely naked. He goes, ah! Oh man, I love Yamcha way back then. I don't love him anymore, but I love him in Dragon Ball. He's more of a gag character in Dragon Ball Z. He's more of a fleshed out character, like I said, in Dragon Ball. So he ends up leaving with Puar, and Puar's like, "What's wrong?" And he's like, nothing. Let's just go." And she goes, well, I call her a girl because I think Puar is a girl, and I say, well, Puar ends up leaving with him, and and then next day it's like nothing ever happened. and then later on, they get more into like they end up going to this castle because they collect all the Dragon Balls in this journey. So they collected all the Dragon Balls except for one, except for a couple of them, because because Emperor Pilaf is has some of the Dragon Balls, so he's like the small guy and small blue guy with like a thing on top of his head. And what was I gonna say? Him and Mai and Shu like we're about to make a wish, and then Goku and Bulma and Yamcha are all trapped inside this like little area, and Goku transforms into the giant ape because this is what's built up to. This is what kills his grandfather in the beginning of the Dragon Ball arc. And he transforms into this giant ape and wrecks house and distracts Emperor Pilaf and Mayan Shu. And he destroys the whole entire castle that they live in. Um, and right before they can make their wish with Shenron, which is the dragon, which is also named my lizard that I have. Before they can make a wish, because what Emperor Pilaf wants is he wants to be ruler of the world. I think that's what it was. And I see it's kind of fuzzy on me, but Oolong he makes a wish instead before Emperor Pilaf can. He's like, I wish for the most softest panties in the world, um, or underwear in the world or something. And he's like, your wish is granted. So he gets the softest panties or underwear in the world. It's just a crazy arc, and it flushes out all the characters very well. I love Bulma, and she's my favorite female character. Vegeta is my favorite male character, but he doesn't come until like later on, way later, until like the Saiyan arc. But it's it's so funny, and then there's stuff in between that I didn't even talk about. There's so many things in the first arc, the first part of Dragon Ball that I glossed over. Uh, like this rabbit guy that wanted to stealing stuff, and Goku didn't like that, so Goku ends up putting him up on the planet on the moon. It's there's so many things. It ends up like Goku is so strong, it's not even funny. But later on in the next part, which I probably will cover if you guys like this, Goku ends up training with Master Roshi and Krillin, and we will meet Krillin, and we'll meet more characters, and we'll flush out them. But that means that Bulma, Oolong, and see the characters that we have now, except for Goku, all together. Like we won't see Bulma, for instance, and that's gonna suck. Well, we won't see her for a while at least. I mean, we won't see the main characters from the first part and the second part for a while. We will see more. We'll see new characters. Like we'll end up seeing more of Master Roshi. We'll end up seeing more of Krillin. Krillin will come. We'll end up seeing. We'll see. We'll see a lot of different people in the next part. If you guys like the first part, please leave a like down below, and also please leave a comment to tell me which is your favorite character in Dragon Ball. I will be continuing the Dragon Ball. I know it's not dissection, as in like I'm not going to go through every little detail. I don't have very much recollection. Can't say it. Recollection of Dragon Ball. I haven't seen Dragon Ball in a while. The first Dragon Ball, I should say. I've seen more of Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball GT because I watch Dragon Ball GT almost every single damn year. And if you guys didn't know, there's an actual channel that the girl that played Pan, she actually has her own channel. And she actually commented on one of my things. She's actually really cool. Elaine something, I think, Spillman or something like that. But that's basically the first part in a nutshell. I mean, Goku, Bulma Goku, and Oolong, Bulma Goku, Oolong, Yamcha, and Puar, Bulma Goku, Yamcha, and Puar, and Emperor Pilaf. That's basically what the hell it is. But if you guys want to see more, I'll try to do more. And actually, I'll end up putting more on paper, so I'll actually have more memory and stuff like that. Maybe I'll watch some of the episodes again, but it's kind of hard to find the Dragon Ball episodes, at least because you don't have them on YouTube anymore because they blocked them, and it's hard for me to get. Well, unless I buy the DVDs, which I have no money right now. But anyway, guys, if you like this episode, please leave a like down below, comment and subscribe, and press the bell icon to get notified about every single episode that I do. And this has been Resident Lynx, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye. And also be safe.